Hey, yes, I'm Alina. I'm doing marketing for DevFest Ukraine for 3 years, and now I'll do my best to fit what I know about it into this 15-minute slot, which is not a lot. Please wish me luck with that. So, now it's my layout, so everything's fine. So yeah, that's me usually posting get pics saying, hey folks, from our DevFest pages. I love this community because for me it's about marketing technology coming together, and I do enjoy it. And a fun fact about our team is that it is 91% engineers, so guess who is the person spoiling the statistics? That's me. So today I'll try to cover very quickly things you need to do before, during, and after the DevFest, because it really means all the difference what you should be doing and what you should be focusing on if you really want your DevFest to be awesome and to be recognized. So a very quick story to set our background, and we'll go straight to those tips in 2 minutes. So this photo over here is our DevFest in 2015. Like, it was 500 people, it was great, we had nice feedback, but actually we had a feeling that we can do more. And that is actually when the story began. It was a nice event, but most of the attendees were local, half of the speakers were local, and we had a feeling that we can do more. We wanted to be a bigger conference, we wanted to be a really international conference, and we really wanted to achieve that. But actually there was a challenge, and the challenge was that how do you grow fast with limited budget and keep in high quality? And limited budget is important here because as a community event, you wanted to make accessible for everyone. You want to make knowledge sharing accessible for everyone. So we don't have that budget of the conferences which are made for commercial purposes. And you don't want to raise your ticket prices because you want many people from different backgrounds to attend it, like students and so on. So we wanted to grow fast, and we wanted to keep it high quality and accessible, which was quite a challenge. And that is why we had to come up with some marketing tactics which would be not so expensive, but will bring us lots of people. So I will share what were those tactics. So before the DevFest, you can see this nice and relaxed cat over there, so you can be chill and relaxed before the DevFest comes. But that does not last for long, and here I will share why. So talking about goals, there are a couple of things you want to pay attention to before the DevFest. First of all, it is bring attendees. Usually before the new DevFest comes, we decide for ourselves how many people we want to gather this year, and usually that number grows and grows up until we meet the limit of venue in our cities, which is not that big. So you want to make sure that you bring attendees so that people actually buy tickets and show up at your event, because otherwise it would be useless. Also, you want to work on brand awareness. In simple words, that means making people know about your DevFest and share about DevFest. So for example, if you meet someone and you say, hey, I'm from DevFest Czech, or I'm from DevFest Baltics, and they say, oh yeah, I know that event, it's really awesome, that means you're doing a great job. And this thing is a long run, it takes a lot of time and efforts, but it will really help you over the years. It will make your job so much easier as soon as people really know and notice about you. Then you want to run a better call for paper campaign. Perhaps in your team you have a separate speaker team. We do have the one on our team. But also you have, as a marketing person, you have tools to help them bring more call for papers, bring more nice speakers to your events. And that is really important that you support the team in that goal. Now, you also want to promote your speakers and make them superstars. As community organizers, I know that you face this problem when you have a nice speaker coming to your conference, which is a great expert in his area, which is very good with some particular technology, but he is not that public person. Not all of the speakers take some time and effort into publicity and visibility. And you want to make sure that those experts are recognized by your community, that they will show up at the session, ask questions, and really appreciate your speakers. So you want to make them superstars, share some nice, valuable content about them. That's really important. Then you want to become visible and appealing for sponsors, because sponsor support is important. If you want to bring this wow effect that we discussed at the round table, if you want to have nice food, nice stage, lights, music, party, you want to have sponsors, and you want to be visible for them, so that's really important. Also, manage expectations and share important updates. For example, this year we were moving to another venue, which was better for sessions, but had some limitations, so we really want to be sure that you set those expectations right and people know exactly what to expect. Now, as a community organizer, perhaps you already know who is coming to your DevFest because most of them are your friends or people you know, stuff like that. But you want to be sure that you have the whole picture, like you understand exactly who is coming to your conference and why. There are two simple ways to know that. First of all, you can have the data from the previous year and kind of make forecasts for this year. Another one, as you sell your tickets, you can add some custom questions like, why are you coming to the conference? What is most important for you? What is your primary focus? How experienced you are? And based on that, you can adjust your marketing, like set particular campaigns. And also, you can, having this data, you can have better conversation with your sponsors and speakers because you know exactly who is coming to your conference, and that is a great value to speakers and sponsors. So as you've done your research and you understand who is coming, you may feel rushed, like I have these great speakers coming to my conference, I want to start posting on Facebook like how awesome my speakers are. But I encourage you to stop for 1 more second, and instead of posting some random content without any plan, please run a marketing campaign. It may sound like scary and official, but in a nutshell, it's like a set of marketing actions which are time specific and aiming at achieving particular goals. So for example, speaker announcement is a campaign, or tickets go live is a campaign, diversity campaigns, opportunity campaigns. For example, when you give some discounted ticket for students. So the difference here is that you plan it, like you have a plan, and you use, and as you start thinking of it as a campaign, as a set of actions, you instantly find new ways, new channels, better ways to communicate, and you become more productive. I will very briefly overview a couple of our campaigns. For example, this year we had 3 keynotes with 3 streams. So we had a deal with our speaker team that we will post all of our keynotes in 1 week. So that we held this snowball effect. Like we announced the first one and people knew that 2 more are coming, so it had this like effect of adding one on the top of another. And this campaign was so successful that after announcing our Android keynote, we actually stopped posting any Android content at all, because we knew that our main hall has limited seats, and if even like 20 more Android people are coming, we will be overcrowded. So you want to track that kind of things, like who is coming to your conference, not only for marketing purposes, but also to make sure that your content is relevant and you have enough place for everyone. This one is our closing keynote of 2017. This is Vitalik standing on the stage. Yeah, here is he, my operator. Yeah, so we had a deal that we wanted, like we had a couple of important announcements to make last year. For example, we were moving to a new venue, a lot of things were changing, and we wanted our attendees, like people who really were there with us, be the ones to know about it. So as Vitalik was making the final keynote, he said that right now you will receive the email with the first access to our new season, our new website. And we had this sync up, and he says, right now you will receive. I'm standing like behind the stage pushing this newsletter from my cell phone. And it was amazing to see like all these 1,000 people in the hall are like picking up their phones because they received this notification, and everyone was like checking the new season, new details and stuff. It was really awesome. And the last campaign example I want to share is our last year's diversity campaign. We encouraged people to share their stories of overcoming professional challenges on Facebook and get a chance to win a free ticket to DevFest. And the reason I like this campaign so much isn't even the diversity thing, which is really important, but also the thing that in our country and in our culture, sharing some like difficult problems and challenges isn't that common. Like people are kind of afraid of that. So I was very happy to see that so many people shared their stories and were so open about it. I really like the content that you're sharing, so these are the ones of my perhaps favorite campaigns. So if you want to have great marketing and if you want many people to come to your DevFest, unfortunately you cannot do this in like 2 or 3 months. This is like very high level schedule of your possible campaigns. I will not stop here. I hope the organizers will send those slides to you so we can take a closer look. Yeah, but the main thing I want to like stress here is that you see the start of this timeline is October. So actually as you finish your previous DevFest, you should really start working on your new one. You do not have to wait until like a couple of months before the DevFest to start working on it. I know it is hard that after the DevFest the only thing you want to do is just like run and hide or sleep or whatever, but at least you can make a very basic, very simple landing page and just set the date and place and maybe add some form to collect emails, to subscribe, to bring more subscribers to your social pages. And it will really pay off when you will start working on your new DevFest. You will have so many people already following you. Your work will be so much easier. So how do you avoid a failure? There will be amazing talk afterwards by Diana and Oleg. They will tell all the things about our failures, and trust me, there are lots of them. But in terms of marketing, perhaps the most dangerous thing you can do is waste your money. Like a community, you don't have that money, and many people say that I know that I'm wasting half of my money, I just don't know which one. That's a common approach in marketing. So how do you do that? First of all, you can relatively easily track campaigns. Like there is this tool, Link Builder. I know perhaps somebody from you is familiar with that. Like how many of you know that and use it? Yeah, so I'll not stop here. Like you can track any campaign, compare campaigns between one another, campaign particular sources between one campaign, and even like you can compare the performance of different visuals and messages in one campaign. So that's really important in terms of traffic. One more thing I encourage you to track is to track goals. Like tracking traffic is important because you really want to understand what is working for you. But by the end of the day, your goal is like to sell tickets or get new subscribers. That's why you need to understand which source brings not only the most traffic, but also the most quality leads. Like this is a relatively simple piece of code. You can integrate with your website and understand how the traffic sources are performing. So for example, here we can see that those traffic channels that bring us a lot of traffic not necessarily bring us a lot of quality leads. That is an important thing to track. As you start doing your marketing, you might be very focused on tools. These are not the most important thing you can use, but if you're starting from scratch, this is our tool stack. And if you are really at the beginning level, you may focus on those four. Like if you're only starting your marketing, I encourage you to leave Facebook, Twitter, Google Analytics, and MailChimp, and that would be enough for you to start doing your marketing. Now, during DevFest. During DevFest, obviously, things are not so easy and relaxed for you anymore, but you still have some goals in mind, and they are kind of different ones. First of all, you need to put together and prepare a media team. I don't know how big your DevFest is, but chances are that you will not be able to attend all the streams, be there everywhere. So you will really need the help of volunteers. And as you teach them, as you prepare them, as you share with them some guidelines, they will help you to highlight and stream your DevFest on social media for those people who are not able to attend it, for those who are considering to go or not to go the next year, and the whole community. So that's really important. Now, you want also to keep promoting sessions and activities. For example, you might have quests happening or some interviews happening, and people do not read. Like that is one of our core principles. People don't read anything. So we want to put that information that there is something interesting happening on your social media. Then troubleshooting. Sometimes at events, well, you know that some things can happen. Like there can be lines for food. Not everyone can have a place on the session he wants to attend. So we want to share emergency messages, and also you want to react to frustrated comments. Because as soon as you react to them and kind of make it in a positive way, people start feeling better about the situation which happened. And also this is the most important part of during the DevFest stage. You want to create content for after the DevFest. One more important thing during DevFest, like how do people actually develop trust for brands? I guess you understand that, for example, when you hear some ads or watching some ads on Facebook, you do not trust it. Like when you see some ads and it says like, we are the best product, we are the lowest quality, you do not trust it anymore. The only case when you trust something is that when you see your friends and your peers saying you that, oh, that DevFest was really great. So we want people to start talking about your DevFest, not only to talk from your official pages. How do you do that? You follow your followers, you follow your hashtags, you pick up what people are saying about your DevFest, and then you react to it. You can reply, you can retweet, you can share those messages. That's really important. This guy over here is perhaps my favorite example of that. Like, I'm with the DevFest team for 3 years, and for all the years he is with us. And whenever we are making a group photo, he is taking a selfie in front of it, and he puts it on Twitter with some funny captures. Like this year it was, raise your hand if you ever messed up a relationship. You can imagine there is like 1,000 people behind him, it's like, hey, hey, and he is like captures that, raise your hand if you ever messed up a relationship. And he makes this tweet every year, and every year it's a different caption. So he really wants to like get that attention to your community and make these people feel welcomed, and they will give you so much more value afterwards when they will tell nice things about your DevFest. So after the fest, you probably will be looking like this cat, at least that's what we feel right now, but you are not done, unfortunately. It's too early to rest. So after the fest, first of all, and I cannot stress this enough, please thank your crew, attendees, speakers, sponsor, everyone involved, because they like invested this time and efforts into your DevFest. It's really important. Also, please post photos as soon as possible. I guess you know that people will start asking you like, where are the photos? We are waiting for the photos. And that's your goal, to post them as soon as possible, because people will start using them, posting them on social media. And also, if you have some nice, distinct design, it will become very obvious that perhaps everyone in your city was at this DevFest thing, because everyone has new profile pictures on Facebook. So that's really something you want to do. Also, you want to use the content you generated during DevFest to keep like up to date, to keep lively throughout the year. And yeah, you need to start preparing for your new DevFest. So another is the very common question, like what do I post when there is no DevFest happening? Like DevFest is like 2 days in a year, and what do I post for the rest of the year? First of all, you can repost what people are saying about your DevFest. You want to also pay attention to speaker quotes. You can like check out from time to time on your attendees, on your speakers. Also share session recordings and slides. And the part of content which is working really great for us is share interviews you recorded during DevFest. Those can be like technical interviews, those can be more like personal ones about the career paths and stuff. But that is the kind of content which will keep you like engaging throughout the year, not only for 2 days. So talking about that story I started at the very beginning, and here is our evolution throughout the years. We did become more or less international. Right now we are like 1,000 people. And one thing I want to add here is that you need to have a great team. Like marketing is not one person who is assigned to that area. Marketing is your whole core team, is everyone in your volunteer team, and that is even like the person who welcomes your attendees as they enter the conference, because that all adds to the conference experience. So you want to make sure you have a nice team on board. And the key takeaways is that you need to run meaningful campaigns, like plan them and have a particular goal you want to achieve. You want to track and improve performance, so you know you're not wasting your time and money. Also, please engage with your attendees and nurture those fans and brand ambassadors. Use the power of online communication to stay active and engaging throughout the year. Yeah, basically it. And yeah, start preparing for your next DevFest now. That's all, I guess.